Yes. Yes. Hello. Hej. Vad roligt. Jag tänkte kanske vi tar oss friheten och sätter oss så här.
Good.
Oh, you know, great minds. Jag vill bara säga en sak. Kolla. Hey.
Salando.
That's what's
Salando.
up. Gud vad roligt att du är tillbaka i Sverige. Du har varit iväg ett tag och kommit hem. I don't know, should we do it in English or in Swedish?
We can do it in English. I have a rule that if I sit very close to an international esteemed Danish minister, I can go over to English back and forth. He's fluent in Swedish, but we can go back and forth.
Okay, that makes me comfortable. If in case of emergency, I go back to Swedish.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm very happy that you're here. I'm very excited to hear about your thoughts regarding the question of what can we do to make people move more, and especially from your business perspective. So how does it feel to be back, and what do you see?
Well, first of all, it's great to be back and to time or move to Sweden, I'd say, with my family. And to time that so well with the founding and creation of GenPep, something that really resonated with me when I heard about it. So I think when you try to look for ways to spend your time outside of the business sphere, you need to look for things that are long-term, that have a sense of permanence about them, a sense of authenticity. And if you look at the founders of GenPep, I think they're incredible role models. So they're working for generations of children to come, and they're working towards young people. So two things that I think are very important. So I think the timing of coming back to Sweden, but also looking for something to kind of sink my teeth into that wasn't just the boardroom and the audit committee. This was very well timed.
That makes us really happy. And you're the real OG, and you make things change. And I just think, I wonder, what do you see is the responsibility, or what responsibility does the business sector have regarding helping people to a healthier lifestyle?
Well, I think we heard it from our colleagues here. They said it very well in the panel, that I think it is about stopping kind of pointing the finger or being complacent. I think it is about empowering the children and the youth, right? So trying to create positive role models among them, positive peer pressure, if you could use that term, where my children actually understand the difference between maybe sitting on a sofa, you don't have the treat, right? But after a football match, you might have the big bowl of delicious bolognese pasta. So there's a sense of course, setting the example at home, as we said, but I think also from a business perspective, mobilizing people, mobilizing others. So if we can bring, like Helene from Telia said, their platforms, if we can bring our media platforms to help spread a message, just make an introduction and it resonates.
Almost feels like there's a position to take here.
I think so. I think it's very much what the Royal Highnesses stand for in terms of breaking down any barriers that are there. I mean, you look for something that can work across borders, and you look for something that has a brand that works across a generation. And the position is actually one of taking the message home, empowering, I think, the children to set that example among their peers. I don't take the role as an adult to say, this is the food group and this is the broccoli, or Prince Daniel, what would he say if you didn't finish your greens tonight? It worked in the beginning, it actually did, and they finally figured out that I'm actually not going to be informing him about whether they have their greens. But I think it is about working in, an understanding and an empowerment among the young, that this is the difference between living a long life and not a long life. And you might know that, personally, I lost my brother to diabetes type 1. He was 30 years old, and you just need to take those kinds of lessons and tragedies and bring it into a real context for your kids, which I think this totally embodies.
My condolences for your brother, and I'm just trying to wrap it up with the last question. You're very inspiring in many ways, and you've driven change. And I wonder, from your perspective, what do you think is the most challenging when it comes to drive change? What's most challenging?
Well, I think this is a fantastic start, right? So I think that to sit in first to have the honor of being in the advisory group, right? So to be powered by, the best consultants, the best creative minds, the best, and then to really have I think a hand-picked feeling of doers, right? So people who can help power up GenPep over a very, very long period of time by doing. not just by leading by example, but by mobilizing other people. So obviously the biggest obstacle you would know is if you don't start early enough, right? If you don't have the routine, or you don't have the built-in support system, or you don't have the socioeconomic needs or the knowledge to make that change. But I think this goes a long way on a national level to empower this negative trend to reverse. And that's my goal, is to be able to be involved, whatever, over a 20-year horizon, and to be able to go back to the United Nations and say, we took this trend and we did something, concrete on a national level.
Very inspiring to hear.
Well,
we heard a bit of a sneak peek from the others on their movement tips. Just wondering a bit, what do you have in your, how do you keep fresh?
Well, with 32 companies and 4 kids and an early morning vignette on SVT, I'm not feeling, no.
Well, you're looking
the idea,
good.
Yeah, thank you, Leo. I think chase your 1-year-old, and obviously stay very, very active if you travel like I do. But I think the kids keep you busy, and as we've heard today, I think put so well by the experts, keep it simple. Bring it back to what's manageable in your life, right? And find the right role models that are both real and attainable to teach your kids to get moving.
Very inspiring. I think I can speak on behalf from the whole audience that we are very grateful that you put your time and effort into make this change happen with the rest of the board. So I'm super excited.
It's just the beginning. It really is. It's got that entrepreneurial, totally grassroots feeling about GenRep. And I think the commitment of the founders and the people that were sitting here next to me, earlier is immense. So I think there's no excuse now not to see totally mätbara results year after year.
Let's stay in that vibe. Bless you, Cristina. I will give you a warm applause. Thanks a lot for sharing. Wow.